As the K-pop industry slowly begins to try to pick itself back up, this video is also the beginning of that process. This is a heads up in case you're not ready for that. There will be positive news as we're catching up on everything we haven't talked about in the past week. On April 21st, NMIXX had a fan meeting from which a video has now blown up. In the clip, we see Sullyoon listening intently to this fan and then interacting with him like normal. But when he leaves, her face begins to change, she begins to frown, seemingly holds in her emotions for the sake of the next fan, but is eventually overwhelmed, not able to keep it in anymore, and burst into tears. Another fan who was sitting in the front row revealed the reason she cried was because this person is actually a fansite and asked Sullyoon to explain why she didn't look into his camera. After being called out, the person tries to explain himself, saying the video doesn't display the entire situation, claiming that he's being bullied because he's a foreigner, and pointing out he was also crying while talking to her. The original fan who called him out then asked why he held up an iPad later, saying sorry if he felt like he did nothing wrong. Eventually, the fansite person deeply apologized to Sullyoon, explaining that he works very hard to participate in all their schedules to show Sullyoon's beautiful side to everyone, and because he was so exhausted physically and mentally after chasing their activities, it made him sad that she didn't see his camera and he couldn't help but tell her. According to him, she explained it's because there were a lot of fans there, but ended up apologizing to him anyway. He later realized he imposed his negative feelings on Sullyoon and tried to apologize to her afterward. I, for one, can't believe I just said everything I just said. April 21st was also the day of Red Velvet's concert in Singapore. However, after performing a few songs and going backstage to change while a VCR played, Joy did not return to the stage with the other 4 members. Wendy would eventually explain to the crowd what happened.
I'm surprised why Joy is on the stage. She's not feeling well, not much. So she's not going to be on the stage for the rest of the concert. She said to us not to worry, she's okay.
The concert continued with fans and the members cheering when Joy's parts would come up, and during the encore, even though she couldn't be on stage with everyone, Joy decided to still sing from backstage as a way to connect with the fans who came out. Someone we also won't be seeing for a while is BTS's J-Hope, but obviously for a different reason, as he is now officially enlisted, sent off by all his members including Jin, who took a leave of absence to do so. However, after his send-off, a media outlet then started raising suspicions that J-Hope had special treatment because he was allowed to have multiple vehicles enter with him. Apparently, most civilians can only have one vehicle enter the base for safety reasons, as stated on the LED sign above the entrance, but J-Hope was seemingly allowed to have multiple approved in advance, while a normal civilian would have been stopped and checked the day of if they wanted to do the same. This got to the point where HYBE had to come out and say they were checking the situation, but before they could follow up, an official from the military itself came out explaining that these are rules that are too strictly enforced because there are often unavoidable situations where other general soldiers can also enter with multiple vehicles. BLACKPINK's ROSÉ is also someone being backed up by a party outside their agency. Last week, we discussed the denied dating rumors with actor Kang Dong-won and drug accusations that all stem from this photo. Well, the designer who originally posted the picture has now debunked the allegations himself by posting this caption, FYI, showing that the object in question was a luxury ashtray art piece used as decoration. Interestingly enough, BLACKPINK also recently received an apology from the Late Late Show with James Corden. During their highly anticipated appearance on Carpool Karaoke, James Corden mentioned that they were the first K-pop group to reach #1 on the US album chart. Well, this caused confusion because it wasn't clear what chart he was talking about, and if it was the Billboard 200, then they would actually be the 4th group to do so. The show eventually tweeted an apology saying the staff wrongly gave James a card to read that should have stated that they were the first female group to accomplish that.
Are you a good driver?
Here's a weird one for you that's been happening. Apparently, a rumor has been rapidly circulating that Jessica Jung does not like Chinese food and prefers kimchi. Very specific. Of course, one of the reasons this is a big deal is that she's currently promoting in China. This resulted in a lot of hate thrown toward Jessica, despite the countless pictures of her eating Chinese food. This even got to the point where her company and boyfriend Tyler Kwan came out further debunking the rumor and hilariously saying that she eats everything except cucumbers. finally, we'll end the serious portion of the video with idols we might not see for a while. Unfortunately, after NCT DOJAEJUNG made their record-breaking unit debut, Jaehyun began experiencing body aches and high fever. While the other two carried on with their schedules for a bit, the unit's activities and music show appearances have now been cancelled for the time being. DKZ's KYOUNGYOON will also be going on hiatus due to anxiety and social phobia after the controversy regarding the JMS cult that we previously talked about, resulting in some people now even filing complaints requesting DKZ's recent radio appearance be cancelled altogether. It was also announced this week that VICTON members HANSE, BYUNGCHAN, and SUBIN have decided not to renew their contracts with IST Entertainment. The remaining members who are still on contract due to their military service duties will now pursue their solo activities. And I think we all need some positive news to celebrate in the K-pop world right now. Congrats to the 9 guys who have made the final lineup of Mnet's Boys Planet, who will now be known as ZEROBASEONE, and making their debut around the middle of this year, so not too long from now. Many are disappointed that Hui didn't make the final lineup after everything he went through. However, he did update fans, assuring he will be showing an even better version of himself now as a Pentagon member once again. A new plant species was recently discovered in Thailand and was named after BLACKPINK's Lisa, as she personally inspired one of the student researchers while she was studying for her doctorate. It's actually one of the rarest, having the highest risk of extinction worldwide. BLACKPINK's global impact does not stop there, as their Born Pink tour has now become the highest grossing tour ever by any girl group, surpassing the Spice Girls, TLC, and Destiny's Child. The scary thing is that the tour is nowhere near over, with even stadium shows on the horizon. There have been a lot of crazy and record-breaking comebacks and releases since the last time we talked about it. The P1 Harmony and New Hope Club collaboration, NMIXX finally releasing the song they performed at their first award show appearance after going on their own. D-Day now has the highest selling first day of any solo artist in history, also making him the first rapper to sell over 1 million copies on his first day of release, and second artist to do it, with of course fellow member Jimin. And I keep talking about how much we're talking about 50/50, because not only did they become the girl group with the highest monthly listeners on Spotify this month, the girls are now only the 3rd K-pop group in history to enter the top 60 of the Hot 100, following only BTS and BLACKPINK. They are the fastest group to do so, however, at just 5 months into their career. What is going on? IVE are also setting records as usual, becoming the first group in history to achieve a perfect all kill with 2 different songs within the same month, less than 3 weeks to be more exact. And my god, Jihyo, we can't talk about making history without mentioning 17's comeback, because on top of setting a new K-pop record with over 4.5 million pre-orders, the guys recorded 3.9 million sales on the first day, setting the new record. Stepping away from all the numbers and milestones, let's also celebrate the fact that Shonu has now been discharged from the military and soon to reunite with Monsta X. The man has already posted 3 TikToks in the meantime. I don't know what combination of words in the English language could possibly describe how much Shonu loves his fans.
Okay. If I am In-N-Out Burger, you guys are 2 patty and vegetables and bread. You guys are everything to me, okay?